Hello, my name is William Rowland and I'm doing another one of my videos. Today I think I'm going to talk about what's happened in Boulder in regards to gun laws, gun violence, things of this nature. Now my goal here is just to give everybody a good understanding about what I see, and I think that you'll find that you can see the same things. So we had a couple tragedies just in the last basically 2 weeks. One at the massage parlors and then one in Boulder. Now, I have to admit that these situations are horrific and they happen too often in our country. So the reason for this video is I want to discuss how in the world are we going to go from point A to point B. So I've taken a long, hard look at this over the last probably about 10 years. And I've been kind of watching about what's going on, and I hope you have too. We have seen dozens of gun laws being put into place. And I would argue the fact that most of them are the attempt to make somebody a criminal instead of punishing the criminal that does evil things with a firearm. So right off the get-go, I want to make sure I get through the facts that's coming from the FBI website. Now, granted, the latest time frame or dates that we have available is 2019. And they want to ban all of the assault rifles and different types of rifles that just look evil. But let's be clear, any firearm is a deadly weapon, and so is a rock, so is a knife, so is the hands and feet of people. So according to the FBI website, there was a total murders across the nation in 2019 was 13,000, almost 14,000. Now these numbers are not segregated out based on gang activity or any other type of a murder. They're just murders, period. So the rifles they want to try to outlaw now, okay, in Washington, D.C., I'm sorry, in our Congress in Washington, D.C., there was a total of 364 murders. Every murder is a tragedy, but there's 364 out of that almost 14,000 total. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So knives and other cutting instruments is the way it's listed. Almost 1,500 murders with those. What is that, 6 times? So let's go ahead and look at blunt objects. Almost the same as what they are with rifles, 397. Personal hands, personal weapons, hands, feet, those types of things. Believe it or not, there were 600 murders at the hands of just people, no weapons. And we also have to understand that in prisons there are thousands of inmates that are murdered and there's no weapons allowed. But somehow evil will do evil. We also have to understand Cain and Abel. That was done with a rock. So it's not the actual weapon that does it. And I'm sure that people believe that because a weapon, like a firearm, is a long distance type of a murdering equipment, I guess is what you guys would call it if you're against guns. None of these murders have taken place at a long distance. And the amount of murders with rifles is just about 350 in a year across this entire nation in 2019. So why are they going after the AR-15s? First of all, I think because they look evil. I also believe that they are being told the wrong thing or they believe the wrong thing. I have seen different pictures on the internet that show literally almost the size of my fist a hole. They said it was done by AR-15. That is a complete lie. It is a .22 caliber. That is the size of a .22, what most people don't even think is being deadly, but they are. So we're seeing these laws and bills being pushed through the different legislation branches across our nation. And what are they doing? They're trying to make you and me, that are normally law-abiding citizens, a criminal because we didn't fill out some piece of paper. But now let's think about that for a moment. Let's think really hard about what has just came out in the last week. Hunter Biden lied on an FBI form saying that he had no drug issues. But yet, according to the text, he was not trusted by his spouse because of his drug and alcohol use. But yet, why does he get a free pass? And while I don't have all the facts on it, it sure seems like that people are covering up for him, including the Secret Service. I think it's because the last name is Biden. I don't think it has to do with anything else. But here's my point with all of this. We have to start applying all laws equally across everyone. Hunter Biden should be in prison. He should have his gun rights stripped for lying on a document that has been in place for a very long time. Now let's kind of go ahead and take a little deeper look into what I see is going on in our legislation branches across our nation. They are trying to make every law-abiding citizen a criminal, so that way they can take away your gun rights. Because they actually do know that your constitutional rights, including the Second Amendment, are non-negotiable. So if they're non-negotiable, they have to either tax you out of the ability to have it or make you a criminal, that way you can't have it. I don't have the exact numbers. I could probably take tonight and look it up right now. But most criminals that commit crimes with firearms did not get it from a gun shop. They're either stolen or they're gone through the underground market. I'm not talking like flea markets and different gun shows, that kind of thing. I'm talking criminal to criminal. I'd ask you to go ahead and contact your legislation groups and ask them to go ahead and pass laws to make that a felony. Make that a serious crime. Now I'm going to loop back just a minute and I'm going to talk about the Boulder mass shooting, where I don't know the exact number off the top of my head. I do all these by the cuff. I do not have notes. I think it was like 10 people that were murdered, including one police officer. Most of them were white. The man that has been arrested for this heinous crime is from Syria. He's a Trump hater, according to what people say about his Facebook page. But yet we hear the left always say it's the Trump supporters that is causing all this violence. This individual that's been arrested, he is not a native born. He's an immigrant from Syria. I'm not saying everybody from Syria, everybody from any land outside of the United States are all evil because of the place they come from. But we have to take a strong look at the people that are coming into our nation. There was the shooting in Oklahoma here 10 years ago. there was another naturalized citizen that shot up the base down there. Now, of course, we do have people that are naturally born in the United States that commit murders, that have done some of the mass shootings. But even the Boston bomber had ties back to the jihadi countries. All I'm saying is that we need to take a look at this. These are the things that are more important than trying to pass laws that go against your constitutional rights. And let's be clear, these rights are non-negotiable. The government did not give them to you, and the government cannot take them away. But don't you find it interesting that they spend all this time trying to tax you more when their job is to protect your rights? So I ask you, is your politician doing for you that protect your rights? Or are they voting against your rights? And I would ask you, if they're voting against your rights, they're voting against everybody else's rights as well. And I've said this before, but these immigrants that are coming here, now while some say that Biden is the reason why they're coming, the majority of them are focused on wanting to be here because of the rights we have in our country. You don't see people trying to immigrate to China, even a lot of the European countries. You don't see them trying to break into Germany, Russia, but they just walk across our borders. And our current administration does not seem to find a problem with that. Right in the middle of a pandemic that he, as well as most of the people in his cabinet, are saying that we need to keep everybody locked down. You can't go to work. Oh, you got to wear a mask. But yet these people walk across the actual river and just walk right into our country. There's mixed motions on their actual infection rates, but it's somewhere between about 15% to 20% is what I understand. They have COVID. A deadly virus, according to our government, that you have to get vaccinated for before you can travel anywhere in the United States. But yet, they let people walk across the border. Now I know some immigrants, even some that have come here illegally. But you know what? The main difference is, they came here, they worked hard. One of them I'm thinking of did not take any government money at all. He worked from the ground up. He worked so hard to become a citizen, which he is now a citizen. And he loves this country. These are the type of immigrants that we should be inviting into our country. People that are willing to work. People that are willing to follow our laws. People that love this country. Because that's what makes this country great. Is the love of this country. So, as we go through this, I just want to say, look at your politicians in the next voting election cycle, 2022. Some of you guys may have special elections, but I'm talking main elections. So in 2022, there's going to be several seats that are going to be up for election. And I'd ask you to go ahead and look at three things. Don't look at the propaganda, because quite frankly, how has that done for you so far? My guess, not so well. So look at it. Are they communicating with you? Now, I do want to say, I believe that there's going to be a lot of politicians that may see this, and they're going to start doing everything I'm saying because they know I am right. So are they communicating with you? Are they telling you why they're voting like they are? Now, remember that, because I want you to take the next two things into consideration about what they say about that. And that is, are they upholding their oath of office? Every oath of office has something to do with upholding the Constitution, whether it be of your state and the U.S. Constitution, or just the U.S. Constitution. So they need to make sure they're upholding that. Now, the final thing is kind of ties all together, and you guys will start seeing the pattern that I'm laying out here. people that are in office need to only be doing things that protect your constitutional rights. If they have been silent, if they have not voted against things that take away your rights, and not even trying to put a facade up that says it's for your health or your well-being, there is no negotiation there. They are not to be taking away your constitutional rights. Because these immigrants that are coming in here, the reason why they're coming here is for a better life. But what's different in the United States than any other nation in the world? We have the Constitution of the United States. Completely different than every other country. This is why they're coming here. So make sure they're communicating with you, or don't re-elect them. 70% of incumbents get re-elected, and I think it's because of popularity. I think it's also because they think, well, at least we know what we're going to get. But I think we need to start doing better. Next thing is, are they upholding their constitutional, are they upholding their oath of office? And the final thing is are they upholding your constitutional rights? So, I've actually gone over a little bit, I think, but I wanted to make sure I made this, and I want to get it produced and put up on the internet for everybody. I want to thank everybody for watching. Please share, comment below. I'm not going to get into great big debates over the things in the video. I'm willing to answer questions why I feel the way I do, why I see what I do, and what is it I see. But I'm not going to get into a debate with the left about, well, you don't like what I said. It's my right to say it. And if you can prove me wrong, then please post it on this video. God bless everyone. Talk to you later.